The mainstream media's persistent focus on global warming has led many to question the true motives behind this relentless propaganda campaign. On the surface, it appears that the media is simply trying to raise awareness about a pressing environmental issue. However, upon closer examination, it becomes clear that there are more sinister forces at play. The mainstream media's goal is not to inform or educate, but to control and manipulate public opinion. One of the primary reasons the mainstream media wants to control us with global warming propaganda is to create a sense of fear and urgency. By constantly bombarding us with dire predictions and catastrophic scenarios, the media aims to create a state of anxiety and panic among the population. This fear is then used to justify radical policies and measures that would not be accepted in normal circumstances. For example, the media's hysteria over global warming has been used to justify massive increases in taxes, draconian regulations on businesses, and even proposals for a global carbon tax. Another reason the mainstream media is pushing the global warming agenda is to promote a specific ideological worldview. The idea of global warming has become closely tied to the concept of sustainability and the need for radical lifestyle changes. The media is using global warming as a Trojan horse to promote a broader agenda of social and economic engineering. This agenda includes the promotion of renewable energy sources, the reduction of individual freedoms, and the implementation of a more centralized and controlled economy. The mainstream media's global warming propaganda campaign is also closely tied to the interests of powerful corporations and governments. Many of the largest corporations in the world, including energy companies and financial institutions, have a vested interest in the promotion of global warming policies. These corporations stand to gain billions of dollars in profits from the implementation of carbon credits, renewable energy subsidies, and other measures aimed at reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Governments also benefit from the global warming agenda as it provides them with a pretext for increasing taxes, regulations, and control over the population. Furthermore, the mainstream media's global warming propaganda campaign has been used to silence dissent and stifle debate. Anyone who questions the official narrative on global warming is immediately labeled a denier or a skeptic and is subjected to ridicule and harassment. This has created a culture of fear and intimidation, where people are afraid to speak out against the prevailing orthodoxy. The media's use of pejorative terms like denier is a classic example of Orwellian doublespeak aimed at suppressing dissent and promoting a specific ideological agenda. The impact of the mainstream media's global warming propaganda campaign has been significant. It has led to a widespread acceptance of the idea that human activity is responsible for climate change and that radical measures are needed to prevent catastrophic consequences. This has resulted in a massive transfer of wealth from the developed world to the developing world, as well as a significant increase in the power and influence of governments and corporations. The media's campaign has also led to a suppression of dissenting voices and a narrowing of the public debate, as anyone who questions the official narrative is marginalized and excluded. In conclusion, the mainstream media's global warming propaganda campaign is a complex and multifaceted phenomenon that serves a variety of purposes. It is used to create fear and urgency, promote a specific ideological worldview, advance the interests of powerful corporations and governments, and silence dissent and stifle debate. The impact of this campaign has been significant, leading to a widespread acceptance of the idea that human activity is responsible for climate change and a massive transfer of wealth and power to governments and corporations. As such, it is essential to approach the mainstream media's global warming propaganda campaign with a critical and nuanced perspective, recognizing the various motivations and interests that drive this phenomenon.